I was going to say everybody keeps talking about like my pairing with Shane, but I feel like you and I clicked right away as well.
I thought
And
so, yeah.
we had a really, really good partnership. And I remember the last pay-per-view, we were forming the new Impact players with Carino and Jack Victory.
That's right. I see. I don't
And
remember those storylines towards the end.
we cut a promo, and it was like the four of us. And
Okay.
we were just cutting this promo. And when we were done the promo, we all kind of looked at each other. We were like, it's never going to happen.
No,
Like
it's
we
not.
knew, like this
Yeah.
is, why are we even here? Like
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. But
Yeah.
it was, to me, that would have been such a cool thing to do because like Carino was such a heel. You were such a heel.
Yeah.
And like Jack in that wheelchair was gold.
Yeah. That would have
This
been.
would
That
have
would
been
have been
so
fun.
fun to be, a team like that. But I mean,
And,
I loved working with you. I'll be honest. Like it
oh,
was
I did
super
too. I did
easy.
too. I did too. It was effortless. That's the thing is, people sometimes mistake what ECW was, and there were times where things were, physically rough, but it wasn't what people think. And I'll guarantee you this: they're hitting way harder in WWE and in NXT than we ever did in ECW. I'm serious. I mean, these kids, they don't work anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I see bloody lips, I see bloody noses. These kids are just, I don't know, man. It is what it is, but
I think accidents happen, but we say it all the time. Like we literally tried to protect each other.
we always did. We always did.
There was never
entertained.
intentional.
No, and we entertained at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We knew how to. We kind of it all figured out. All right, this is where we get and Dreamer was real good at teaching this to me. This is where we'll do this. We'll get this pop here, and then we'll get this other pop here. So we always knew kind of where to layer our stuff. And if, there was something wrong with me, if I wasn't feeling well, he'd figure a way around it. You'd help me figure a way around it. We'd just work it all out, And I think nowadays in wrestling, you don't really, I don't think, Vince Russo and I talked about this today. I don't think the guys, a lot of the younger guys in the locker room have the respect that we had for the veterans. And I certainly see that, like, where, you guys don't know anything. The game is changing, and we're just going to do our own thing. And that may be true. I know the game is changing, but everything that's old becomes new, and everything that's new becomes old. So after I'm already we're week 5 into our AEW review, and towards the end of my note writing at night, I was already like, it's like same shit every night. You see, I literally do a gimmick now where I count how many dives they do and how many apron bumps. It all looks like the same match, and how many super kicks there are in a show, and how many times somebody slaps their leg. It's all the same match. One thing that's disappointing, and I won't get into it. I'm still in that mode. Is the women's division really kind of is not good over there? And I thought it would be.
I haven't seen any of it, so no. I don't watch wrestling anymore. I watched the first week of AEW. I watched the first hour.
Yeah.
And I saw a little bit of the girls' match that night, but I never saw the finish because I think my kids were coming home from school and I had to go get them or something. But just didn't turn it back on. Like,
I can't watch WWE.
Yeah.
It's just too long. It's just the same stuff. But one thing I do tell, the thing I can say about both products are good. Two totally different styles,
Yeah.
Totally different styles. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Right. Well, I get a lot of people, and you probably get the same thing I do, with the network out there.
Yeah.
We have such a new generation of fans that are watching our stuff for the first time.
Yes.
And it's 20, 25 years old, and they're saying how it holds up in the year 2019 and how creative it is.
Yeah.
And then you go and tell me it's the same stuff every single week. We never did that. There was so much variety on our show, and kept it fresh,
It kept it fresh. And one thing Paul was really good at was, and a lot of the best directors are just like that. He made the most of what he had. He would find a spot outside of a building to do a promo.
Right.
He did those Pulp Fiction vignettes. Like, that's stuff that's still not being done today. It's not being utilized. Like, one of the biggest criticisms I have of AEW is unless you followed the Elite, those guys from before, you're a new fan tuning in, you really don't you don't know who these guys are. They, so they're having a hard time where Paul would everybody would have their little shtick and promos, and not just long-winded in-ring promos where, WWE does like, I talk, you talk, and just fun stuff. And I think it holds up today. I'm amazed that nobody's really tried to, people have tried, but to try to take some of those elements and freshen them up to today, because what we also did was, and we couldn't get away with it today because of copyrights, but man, that music,
I know,
with the wrestling, and it was like, it made it cool, and the buildings were on fire. It was so entertaining. Just that whole thing was just, it was just different. And if you have the money, like an AEW or the WWE, hell, if me and X-Pac got Uncle Cracker to give us a song, and they were paying for it every time we came out, they paid for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not do a little more of that? I think music and wrestling for a long time has gone together, and it could really make your show a little hipper.
I would sit in the studio and be amazed by Paul, because he would use all the cool hip artists of 1996, and we'd be like, how are you getting away with it? Don't worry about it. Don't just relax. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, this is really cool, but God, if you ever get caught, how are we not caught on television? Like,
well, how we got away with it on pay-per-view was if it's on in the background, like if it's not plugged into the feed, like the direct audio feed, and if it's like in the distant in the background, you can get away with some of it. Not all of it, but you could get away with some of it.
I did an indie show with Shane not long ago, and I recorded it for YouTube, and I got flagged for the Perfect Strangers. I
can't even have it in the background anymore.
I couldn't have it on YouTube. I didn't get monetized. They demonetized that video, and I was just like, great. Now I can't even put an entrance on YouTube. It's ridiculous.
Are you really kidding me?
No, that's what it was, because I saw that there's a little $sign, and it had a slash through it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the video, and I said, the only thing I can think of is Shane's music, and I think it may have been Stevie or somebody. I don't know whose music. And I said, damn, they flagged me for that Perfect Strangers.
But who's watching all these videos?
It's something in literal, and this is all above our heads, something in the interface that can read the music. Because I had it happen to me too. I posted a full episode of Triple Threat on YouTube, and I literally have a karaoke version of Perfect Strangers that got flagged. And I was like,
God.
How did I even know what song it was? It's an instrumental karaoke version. Come on.
Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah. But if you watch WWE now on the network, and they just put elevator music over all of our entrances,
and it's
horrible.
It kills the whole experience.
It does.
It kills
it really does. Oh, sick. But I love the fact that there's a whole new generation getting into our stuff.